Well, hello, YouTube. I ain't done nothing for a few days, so I figured I'd throw one at you. We've been tinkering around here in the pantry a little bit today, trying to get some more stuff fixed. I still got roof to do. We chased down the electrical wires, got the breakers all shut off to those, and right now part of my lighting system, if you can see, is my portables, and then of course some electric I drug in from another part of the house. So anyway, it's a temporary scenario. Right now the temperature in here is about okay for dry goods, but I had to pull all the meats and anything that had dairy products at all, or was going to melt or get contaminated with heat or go bad. So all that got pulled out. Only thing I've left in here really was pretty much a can of onions, which I've got to do something with, and some tuna, which is still good because I opened the can and checked it. So those will probably come out today. But the rest of this is like canned vegetables, syrups. Of course, you got to have powdered buttermilk. You know, stuff like this for cooking, or steak sauce. Because what good is it to go to the stupidest shit in the world if you ain't got something good to go on your crappy burger? Soy stinks. Got to flavor it with something to swallow it. And then of course, tea and miscellaneous. Good thing about the way we're rigging this up is that like this soda pop. This is a KitchenAid. I ordered this puppy. And basically it's a wheat meal. It's not bad. We tried it, made some flour out of it. Gonna cook them into biscuits and miscellaneous. But my tub's in there. I've got a 55-gallon drum full of wheat, which helps. Because I can turn that wheat into flour. But also what we've been doing today, if you can see over here, is we're bucketing and getting all our stuff squared up. Me and my soda, I swear. With screw top lids. This way, when I need to, it cuts down on pest control, and you can reach right in and get your product. This is one of them Cisco jobs. It's instant cheese sauce mix, which only really takes water to be able to handle it the way it needs to. Get my seal back where it goes here. That's the only thing you want to do, is make sure you watch your seals on these things like this, because that's how you keep it from going bad. There we go. But that way you can mix that cheese sauce with like these bow tie pastas, shell pastas, you know, buttermilk, miscellaneous. So what we've done today is kind of convert some of our shelf space, because we had a bunch of stuff sitting in the shelves. I was just sitting in here like this. Okay, it takes up a lot of space. A lot of space. So where we're converting it is converting it back to the can part with the screw-on lids. This way all we got to do when we need it is come in, unscrew the lid, get what we need out of it, and then go from there. Which this one I gotta adjust a little bit because it ain't screwed down all the way. Hold on. I think I'm off a little. Where am I messed up? Right there. You definitely want a good seal, because you don't want your stuff going bad on it. Of course, Mylar bags, oxygenizers, those are great. If you don't have them, just remember your stuff ain't going to stay good as long. So rotation is important. So name your stuff and make sure you put your date, either your to-go bad date or the date you sealed it all up. That way you got a general idea how long that stuff's going to last until you got to rotate it or get it out of there. And for the sake of everybody, if you got stuff that's getting ready to where you got 30, 60 days and you know you can't use it all, don't throw it out in the trash. There are so many people out here that are hungry right now. I got a neighbor that I've been helping off and on, but that poor lady, she is constantly in need of food because the job community stinks. You can't get in where you need to. There are jobs out there if you can get lucky enough to work the internet good enough to get into them. But for some of these folks, they're sick, they're old, they're ill. Rotate your stuff to some of these people. That way they can get it used up before it goes bad. That's all I got to say on that. Ain't no sense in me preaching. Other than that, we're just kind of converting our stuff. As you can see, I've got all-purpose flour, pancake mix, because I'll be honest, if the world would go stupid today, as long as I got access to my barrels of water, and I can mix this up, I can take my cast iron skillet, toss it on the fire. I still get breakfast in the morning with that syrup. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to last a long time. You know, I got like 11 people in my family. You know, it ain't going to last a horribly long time. This ain't going to last a long time at all. But everything that you're able to do today is, number one, it's going to save me money next month when the inflation's just gone unbelievably crazy. And we have to do our shopping once or twice a month in 3 states: Kansas, Oklahoma, and Missouri. Because we're within 30 miles of the border on all these. 30, 45, something like that. So that being said, I do have an opportunity. I get to see 3 different distribution areas for food that's coming into these areas. And what I've noticed is here in this section in Kansas, our stuff that comes down from Kansas City and Wichita, Salina, it runs out of different items than the stuff that comes up to Miami, Oklahoma. They run out of different stuff. And Joplin, Webb City, Carthage, they seem to run out of a totally different group of items. So if I can't find it here, I have to go look there. And all this stuff takes gas. Resources. Okay, if they're right, and we wind up running out of diesel and the truck stop, because I'm an ex-truck driver, now your freight ain't coming to you, and you're going to be hungry. At that point, you're going to have a lot of desperate people doing a lot of stupid stuff. And God bless them, I hope they're smart enough to pay attention to the world around them. But let's be honest. Things aren't as wise as they used to be, and my generation ain't any more saints than the rest of the generations under me. We made a lot of stupid mistakes out there that we shouldn't have made. So does the generation that's coming up under us. And every older generation always thinks the younger generation's the problem. The deal is, we were all mistakes. We all made boo-boos. Okay, this being said, it's time we step up and fix this stuff. Because that old boy that's sitting in the White House, he ain't running this show. I don't know who's controlling his narrative. It ain't him. Because, you know, being as old as I am, I get forgetful. When you just start getting where you start getting forgetful about stuff, you recognize people who are a lot worse off than you are. You can call it dementia. You can call it whatever you want. But he's not making all the decisions. And that being said, he has a lot more influence than what a lot of people want to act like he has. Now, that being going on, we got so much going bad in the world right now, from wars, pestilence, famine. It almost looks like the apocalypse and the end of the Bible. I'm not saying it is, but it sure does look like it. That being said, we will make it through this stuff. But we all going to have to get our head out of our biscuits and start figuring out what it is we got to adjust. And my first steps are trying to make sure that my kids and my family are raised up old enough that they can be a better productive citizen than some of the generation I had. And thus, here we go. Working on stuff like this. I'm hoping that the rest of y'all have your own little projects. Maybe you're stocking up dog food for your dog. Or, you know, you're putting in extra hours at work before your job don't have parts and they have to shut the doors. You know, fear ain't going to do us no good. But understanding that we may not be able to reverse this before it collapses, like Venezuela, Russia in the 80s, or was it 90s? I forget. See, that's part of that forgetfulness. Or some of the other countries, Cuba, when we did the embargoes against them. I mean, so if we all do our little piece, and we try to get the stuff stocked up, set up, maybe we can make this a little better. But anyway, let's skip that. Right now, take a look over here. What I've got set up at the moment is these are the stuff that some of you say don't use, others say stock up. But it's there in case, worst case scenario, it has to be a little longer time. Rices, grains. Be honest with you, if you want to go back old school, step back a minute. Thank you, sir. But if you want to look back old school, you're going to need lots of lard and shortening. Little flour, little lard, little water, and you got a biscuit. You know, add a little salt to it, tastes better. Pepper would be questionable, but could be done. That being said, mashed potato mixes. What we got down here? More powdered gravies for those who can't make homemade gravy. Because I'll be honest, you eat my homemade gravy, you get concrete. That's right. Because when I make homemade gravy, that stuff is thick. I can't get the roux right. I've tried for 20 plus years, and I cannot get the roux right. But I can make some good plaster of Paris out of that stuff. If you want to plaster a wall, you want to fill a crack in there somewhere, it does. Mine may make a good glue. I'm not sure, but it ain't no good for eating. That's for that burn sure. Thank God I got wife. She's a lot better at cooking than I am. Of course, other things you might want to stock up on. Fish and chip batter. Something that you already got pre-mixed that you can dip your fish in. Because you might have to do a lot of fishing. You know, just to get something to eat. Like it says, teach a man to fish, he'll eat for life. You know. But anyway, this is just a little bit about what we've been tinkering with today, you know. Got our great northern beans coming in here, small red beans for chilies, another deal of rice. And pretty much just tinkering and trying to sort and get it mixed out. Well, I don't know what else I can really tell you at the moment. I wish y'all the best. We'll try to throw in a few videos where we can. We're going to try to do the best we can for ourselves. If we can share with the community, we're going to share where we can. And of course, like everybody else, we're ready to protect ourselves if we have to. Doesn't mean we want to. Just that if stuff gets stupid, we're not going to just stand there and get shot and killed by some moron. Which, God forbid, I pray none of y'all ever have to do that. There's many of us boys that's done seen enough of that crap in our life already, and believe me, you don't want to go there. That being said, we'll catch you later, YouTube. God bless you, and have a good day.